King County Metro has resumed bus services within a crime-riddled corridor in Seattle after a series of violent crimes in late 2024. Western Washington reporter Spencer Polly is here to tell us more about this story. Spencer, where is King County Metro resuming its bus services?
Right, so King County Metro is resuming bus services at 4 stations along the 12th Avenue and South Jackson Street corridor. This is in Seattle's Little Saigon neighborhood, just adjacent to the International Chinatown District. Now, last December, there was crime spiked in the area, and this included a series of stabbings that occurred over a 36-hour period along that South Jackson Street corridor. And that put the city on high alert and also gave the city some national attention that wasn't really wanted. After that, bus drivers were ordered to not make stops at these locations for an indefinite amount of time, up until last week when Metro finally said we are going to resume bus services in this neighborhood.
So why now?
That's a good question. So what I read from King County Metro in their announcement is that they did a series of investigations, and law enforcement made what they defined as, quote, key arrests for unlawful conduct. And this improved conditions for the 4 bus stations, according to them at least. There's also now around the clock law enforcement present in the corridor now, which is something I've seen when I've frequented the area. Not that I go down to Little Saigon neighborhood much, but there are a lot of great businesses and there is a cool culture there to just go to when you live in the city. And you do see more armed security present in the area. It can be kind of a shock, but it is good to know that gives people, including me, tourists, and travelers, whether it's daily travelers or whoever wants to frequent some of the restaurants and shops in the area, know that there's peace of mind, at least, that there's presence there.
So is the South Jackson Street corridor always dangerous, or was it a random surge of crime?
That's a good question. I say we should zoom out here and look at the Chinatown International District, which does unfortunately have kind of a notorious reputation right about now, where you see a lot of crime. Streets are not so clean. There's a lot of homelessness in the area, which can also translate to public safety concerns. Now, I have some statistics here from last year and that regarding the Chinatown International District. And what you're seeing is last year there were 3 homicides, 78 robberies, and 181 cases of aggravated assault. These numbers are actually down from 2023 and 2022, which were peak crime years for Seattle. But still, that is a number that is unfortunate. I should note that still, the Chinatown International District is not the most crime-riddled neighborhood in Seattle. I believe it ranked 4th out of all of them, according to 2024 statistics. But with that being said, it is still kind of a rougher area, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of marginalized communities that live in this neighborhood. You have people who don't speak English as their first language and are now being stuck with some of these issues, including homelessness, drug use, and they're not able to really communicate with public safety about their issues that they're experiencing.
So you mentioned some increased security in the area. Is the city and county dedicating any extra funding to security on these transit stops?
Absolutely. That's really escalated in recent months. I think we should look back at, it was in December when King County Metro driver Sean Yim was killed on the job in the University of Washington District, north in northern Seattle. After that, the city was very shaken up by this, and King County Metro drivers were afraid for their jobs, their lives. And so what happened is you had King County Metro boosting security presence, which costs money. But also Seattle has been doing this as well. And I think the most notable instance of funding for transit security presence is Seattle using $9 million from its recent transportation levy, which I should note is the biggest tax levy the city has ever imposed. And what that means is $9 million. What does this go to? Is this transit security all over Seattle? No, it goes towards the South Jackson Street corridor and also the Third Avenue in downtown Seattle two areas that see heavily concentrated cases of violent crime. And so what you're going to see now is just this increased presence might help down the line. You're going to see these streets maybe become safer. But this one thing we have to look at is the statistics, whether or not crime rates go down dramatically or if it's still occurring even despite these security presence.
Well, Spencer, thank you for your insights on this story. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.